14th NCAA appearance. We're taking on San Diego State.
Well, San Diego State, that's the third team out of the Mountain West. With Utah winning the tournament, San Diego State off to TCU. Great game so far in the Mountain West.
And San Diego State, their first appearance in the tournament since 1997. And then finishing
Gaucho fans, you know this man standing next to me, and if you don't, I don't know, you might have been living in a cave for the past 30 years, but the legendary, the man, the myth, the legend, John Zant, UCSB women's basketball beat writer for probably about 3/4 of a century. How long was it, Z?
About 3/4 of a century, give or take 5 years or so.
And now he's joining us right here, and what do you think about this 15th seed against Stanford?
Well, I love the site. San Diego, it's within reach of all the Gaucho fans. Train, bus, drive. The opponent is formidable, but I got memories of the only other time UCSB played Stanford in the tournament was in 1992, the last year Stanford won the NCAA championship. It was a second round game. It was at Stanford, Maples Pavilion. They had a great All-America center, Val Whiting, I think was her name. The Gauchos had the team with Barb Beanie and Corey Close. And with about 3 minutes to play, UCSB was within 3 or 4 points. They just played great against Stanford, took them down to the wire. Only one problem, UCSB had 7 players on their roster, and 3 of them fouled out. The third foul out was with about a minute and a half to play, so the Gauchos had to play with 4 players the rest of the game. The Stanford band was chanting, "Power play, power play." And, Stanford pulled away, but they only won by about 9 points. It was their closest game of the whole tournament, and they went on to win the national championship.
And we're joined by Sheree Gibbons here on Presidio Vision from the UCSB women's basketball team. Hi, Sheree.
Hi there.
You guys just got selected inside to play Stanford in the opening round, 15 versus number 2 seed. What are your thoughts on this?
I mean, we're excited. I just said before, someone had asked me and who you play and where your place is out of your control. And we've done a lot of great things up to this point, so we're excited for where we're at.
Now, you guys played Stanford in your career. What are your memories of that game? And obviously you know what you're up against, but what's it going to take?
They're an amazing team. They have size, they have skill, they have athletic ability. I know their team has changed quite a bit since we played them, and so hopefully we can get an amazing scout from our coaches and just go from there.
Can you talk about Coach Gottlieb in her first season? Obviously she was very emotional after the Big West Championship game, and maybe a big sigh of relief for her that she got it done in her first year. What's it been like playing for her?
It's been great. It's been different in a really great way. Obviously, if you look at, I tell this to people all the time, if you look at Coach French and then you look at Coach G, that's about how different it's been for us. Just physically wise, we've got a old gray-haired, tall, man versus a young woman. And so it's been completely different. Our system has been way different, but as a basketball player, it's been so exciting to learn and to grow from her.
Do you kind of miss Coach French on the sidelines jumping and going, help side, help side, help side?
Coach G does it in her own way. She does it in her own way.
Now, talk a little bit about this team. You obviously have Jenna, who's a sixth-year senior, and then you have Emily Johnson, who you've been kind of mentoring, I'm sure, at the point guard position. You got a lot of young and old. What's the balance like on this team?
It's been great. We have our geriatric unit, as we like to be called, and then we have, the rookies, the babies, and they keep us young and fresh. And I think it's a great balance. Sometimes when, Jenna or I or Lauren are struggling in practice one day physically, we have the youngsters who are able to go and hold it together for us. So it's a great balance.
First-year head coach Lindsay Gottlieb. Coach, congratulations on having this experience of a selection show in your first season here at UCSB.
Thank you. It's so exciting. I think it's a great celebration of what our players have done this year, and I'm really happy to be part of it.
Now, coming from Cal, you might know a thing or two about Stanford and women's hoops. What are your thoughts on this matchup?
Well, I probably will have a good scout. That doesn't mean we can stop them just because we know what they're going to do, but that we're going to prepare and be ready to go. They're a great team. I have so much respect for Tara Vanderveer and her staff. They've been playing as well as anyone in the country of late, but I also think our players have experience in big games. They're not afraid of anybody, and I know they'll be pumped up and ready to go.
Can you talk a little bit about the team? We were talking with Sheree a little bit, and she said that you guys have the geriatric unit in Jenna Green and her, and then you have these youngsters like Emily Johnson. What's the balance like, energy-wise, age-wise, and how is that going to play into this game?
Well, I think it's been, one of our strengths all year, our depth and our kind of different personalities. You have a Jenna and a Lauren who just take things in stride. They've been through a lot of it. You have Sheree and Whitney who are so emotional, and really are emotional leaders. And then you have people like Emily who just smiles her way through it and has ice water in her veins and knocks down big shots. So I think as we go into the postseason, that'll play to our advantage a little bit, that we have a lot of different personalities, a lot of depth, and hopefully that'll help us in a situation like this where we're going to need everything we can get.
You going to be getting much sleep in between now and that game?
What do you think? No, not a whole lot. I want to watch as much film as I can, get us as prepared as possible, and then the players get to go out there and make the plays, but I like to feel like I've done everything that I can do.
Coach, congratulations once again. The whole city is behind you guys, as always, and you've done an excellent job your first year, so job well done, and best of luck to you down there.
Thank you very much.
All right. Now, what other memories do you have of the NCAA tournament or anything like that with this team?
Well, 93 they went back to the tournament and got blown out by Colorado in the second round. Then they started a great string of tournament appearances, 9 straight starting in 97. And there are a lot of great memories from that. The win over Louisiana Tech on Jess Hanson's second jumper was probably the greatest of them. But they won some games. They beat Louisiana Tech. They beat Xavier. And then that Sweet 16 year, here they beat Colorado and Houston to get to the Sweet 16 in Connecticut. And then I have a memory of Cox Arena where they're going to be playing Stanford on Saturday. Stacy Kleinsmith, one of her teams, it might have been the 30-win team or the year before that, whatever. So all I remember is San Diego State ties the game up with 2 seconds to play with 2 free throws. And UCSB inbounds the ball to Stacy, their little great point guard from Washington. She took one dribble and from the top of the key on the far side of the court, launched the ball. It was about 63 feet, and it banked right into the hoop for a Gaucho win. The greatest half-court shot I've ever seen in person to win a game.
Well, we're going to hope for a little more magic down there this time around. Z, thank you so much for joining us. I assume you'll be down there and we will be reading your recap of it in the Santa Barbara Independent?
Yeah, I think I'll find a way.
Yeah, I have a feeling the fast breakers and all the fans that have been pulling for you since day one. Any message for them heading into this final stretch?
I love you guys to death. You're awesome, and you're the reason I've been here and stayed here and came here in the first place, so thank you.